Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maximo and I'm here checking out Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. This is definitely a better late than never because this came out the same week the Vita did. So if that doesn't give you a general idea, I don't know what does. So this is a golfing game and I feel the need to point this out immediately. We're not going to be able to check out the multiplayer or online segments because at the time of me recording this game's online was officially shut down about 2 weeks ago. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you that. However, there is a stream linked in my description box that will actually let you go and see what the online functionality was like, because I had the entirely smart idea of going and playing some of the online stuff before it went down, because I am a smart cookie. So, as I said, this is a golf game, so we might as well go have a look around at everything else before we go hop into an actual game, because seriously, it takes ages to play a game of Hot Shots Golf.
Have a good time.
It takes ages to play a game of golf in general. Just Hot Shots Golf is just a regular game of golf in that sense. Just, you know, yeah. So, you can come here and see all your characters and play around with their outfits and stuff. You can buy new outfits from them from the shop. You can change like the textures and stuff on them as well, and just do some neat little stuff, neat little things like that. Just some neat little things, extra outfits and stuff. You can also buy other characters like DLC as well. Like I've got Cat from Gravity Rush here, but unfortunately we can't use her maid outfit, which is unfortunate because she'd look nice in it. You can also give all your different golf characters different clubs and balls, which will affect their stats over on the right there. But we'll get into that. You can also change your lobby character for the online and ad hoc lobbies, but again, check out the stream for that one. If you go to the shop, you can buy different things, like you can buy new characters, new outfits, there's all your outfits for them. That's actually a pretty cool costume right there. You can buy clubs, which have different stab benefits, balls, which do the same thing, different courses, and you can buy parts for your lobby characters. You can buy videos, shot certifications, which are basically just different kinds of shots, concept art, music. You get the general idea.
Please come again soon.
So let's just pull back out to the main menu.
Welcome back.
So if you go down to data, you can see your stats. I'm not doing particularly great, but I'm doing alright. I've been playing this game on and off for the last couple of months, getting ready for this video, because I'm going to warn you right now, every time I record video of this game, I absolutely suck at it. I do okay. I am not completely full of myself. I do okay when I play this game normally, when I'm not, like, recording it or whatever, but for some reason, this game just fucking hates me half the time, and I absolutely suck at it normally. Here's your profile. I think this is just for... Yeah, these are just the bios of the characters here. Pretty basic stuff. Video recordings, do super shots. I do actually think I've got one here that you can see. 17.4 yards. That's not a very impressive shot, but I'll let you watch it anyway, just for the fun of it. I have gotten some really good chip-ins, like, there's a video I did where it's like 17 holes of turn-by-turn with two of the Vita Lounge crew, and on one of them I got a ridiculous chip-in that was like 50, 60 yards. It was ridiculous, but anyway. I'll just hit the circle button to skip us through all this. Show me my chip-in, come on. Why would you record the entire bloody hole? Yay! I'm not entirely shit at this game. That was actually me with, bloody... Was it Poncho was his name? Yeah, yeah, okay, back it up. Back it up. Oh, wait, no, that was Chip and Birdie. Hang on. Right, we have to press the right button. There we go, Chip and Eagle, but it's still only 17 yards. So, right, not very useful. and your library, which lets you look at that concept art and music that you bought. So, single player content. There's not actually that much. You can play training, where you can, like, you know, just swap out stuff that you don't like on the go. And you've got Stroke, which is basically just, you know, play as much golf as you like on whatever clubs that you like that you've got unlocked. And notably, this is the only way you can play the 3 DLC courses, which is actually kind of annoying. I'd like to see them have some sort of story content, but this game's 5 years old at this point. It won't happen. So if we hit up challenge mode, where the majority of the game's single player content is, and we hit triangle, we can get a rough idea of how this works. The general idea is that you have to get a certain amount of stars in order to unlock the versus match for that line. So I need to get 16 out of 16 stars, I should say. And that would mean I would need to successfully come first in 2 of these 3 ones that I haven't successfully finished here. And that, once you've done that, you unlock the versus. And once you beat the versus, you can move up to the next rank, which will make things slightly harder. And it will give you some other things you need to do. And you can also come back down to rows you've already completed, and you can play the things again, and if you get a certain special condition, you'll get a crown, and that's how you unlock the second versus match. So yeah, that's a pretty simple concept. So what we're going to do is we're going to play... Yeah, we'll play 9 holes on the Kaguriyama Country Club, just for a little bit of an easy entry, and then we'll move up to the next, sorry, my brain isn't working particularly well with me today. We'll play that, and then we'll move up to a little bit of a harder, challenge. So here's your shot types, but they're all basically the same concept. You hit it, you try and hit it for the power, and then you hit it again for the accuracy. That's basically the general idea of all the systems in this game. I'm just going to work with the default one that you have. Pancho, not Poncho. Then again, Pancho is a bit of a weird name as well, but anyway, off we go.
Let's get moving.
You can also hear your caddy going off in the background when you do terribly or when you do well or just whenever you do anything really, and she's very frustrating to deal with, and I wish she would choke and die. You can change them, but I've only gotten 2 so far, and both of them just are as annoying as one another, so... Oh well, away we go. Golf! It is a man's sport, the sport of kings. As they say with literally every other fucking sport imaginable. So, it really is... It's not simulation, and it's not pure arcade. It's a little bit in between. It's a little bit more simulation-y than Mario Golf, but it's a lot less simulation-y than, say, the EA Golf games. So, your general controls are very simple. You have the circle button to fire off your shots. You can adjust the impact point and the spin of the ball. You can adjust your angle and your trajectory. You can change what clubs you're using. You can even use this weird little camera system here to fuck around with the camera using the touchscreen, including that weird little thing there, which is like a bloody, first-person camera for whatever goddamn reason. And there's also this really weird thing where, I think it's... Is it this one? No, this is just, no, that's not the one I was thinking of. There's this weird one where you can actually turn on a augmented reality camera where it shows the sky behind you being, the sky behind you is like the area that's behind you on the camera. It's really flippin' odd. I don't know why they insist on doing that, but they do, and... Son of a bitch. 3-foot gimme. At least it's only a bogey. So here's how this works. You get points for every positive thing that you do, including like landing on the green, landing on the fairway, getting chip-ins and stuff like that. And you also get points for, you know, your general score. And the person who has the most points at the end wins. Even if someone has like -2, if someone else has managed to outscore them, then they will lose. So there you go. And, I mean, what else is there to tell you? I mean, it's a pretty solid golf game. I mean, there's really not much else to say about it outside of it being a pretty solid golf game. Oh, Jesus. I do not even want to try. I'll try here. Yeah, that'll work. There are a couple of things that help it be more arcadey. Like, you do have access to a limited stock of power shots using the square button before you take the shot. And there's, you know, just like... Sorry, I just absolutely had a stroke there. And just other little things like that to help you along. But, I mean, other than that, it really is pretty basic. But it's got all the things you need to be a nice golfing game. For one, it looks pretty nice.
That's it?
Like, for a 2011 launch title on the Vita, it still looks pretty nice to this day. It's got a good art style. The terrain is pretty well detailed. The environments all look pretty nice, and it's just all decent enough looking. Like, seriously, I got no problem with the way the game looks whatsoever. Back in 2011, I would have been way more impressed, but even today, I still find it to be pretty nice to look at. I got nothing wrong with it, really. I'm gonna hit it a little bit short, just to be safe. Probably could have done to hit it a little shorter, but a little longer, I should say, but oh well. Okay, you can stop now, thank you. There we go. And just overall, as a golf game, it feels pretty nice to play. It's pretty easy to deal with. Pretty simple, really. All the controls make sense. The general performance is fine. It hasn't missed my button presses or anything like that. Because, you know, with games like this, you want the buttons to be 100% responsive 100% of the time. Otherwise, it's not going to feel fun when you miss a shot and was the game's fault. No, if you fuck up in this game, it's your fault. Absolutely. Brilliant shot, apparently. That's good. And it's a pretty straightforward green, so I think I can just hit straight in, more or less. There we go. A birdie. That should either put me back on top or somewhere close to the front, at least. Yeah, I just need 10 more points and I'm in the lead. So there are a couple of things I don't like about it. Like, the actual golfing itself is fine, but the single player isn't particularly a favorite of mine, mainly because the only thing that there really is to do is all these challenges, you see. All these challenges are basically your single player content. You've basically got nothing else to work with if you don't like playing just random, basically goalless stroke play single games. And that kind of sucks, because I would much prefer to see I'd much prefer to see like a more dynamic bit of single player content where it would just give you new stuff to do. Sure, you could argue that that was the point of the online content, but playing online with strangers in a golf game is always one of the most frustrating things known to mankind. Wow, I actually hit that in. It's one of the most frustrating things known to mankind because other players are way better than you, pretty much all the time. And you will get your ass beat. Like in the multiplayer stream that I'll be linking down the bottom there, it's quite something, just how thoroughly ass-ripped me and I think it was another guy got beat. I haven't actually watched my own stream because, if you can believe it, I can't really stand the sound of my own voice for too long. But the general problem with the single-player campaign is that the courses get really complicated really quick. And so do the AI opponents. The AI opponents start getting really good around the third tier of things you need to do, which I do plan on showing off. You can mitigate this somewhat by turning on the game's included easy mode. And the easy mode will leave like a little marker. Fucking hell. It'll leave on like this little marker that'll be like, Wow, I went almost exactly the distance I was from the hole in the first place. Alright, let's try and do that properly this time. Much better. Okay. Oh, it actually let me keep that one. Alright. It's a bogey, whatever. But yeah, as I was saying, the courses get more difficult and the AI gets more difficult. You can put it on easy mode, and that does make all the AI players about 2 or 3 strokes slower, just in general. Which is alright, I guess. But it doesn't feel particularly natural. And I'm not the biggest fan of it. Really. And it means that you don't really get that much in the way of single player content that isn't just playing the same challenges over and over again. Like, sure, you might be better at the game than me, and you might just, like, really run through all of this. Which is entirely possible. Absolutely. But, there are a couple of other things that are annoying about this as well. So, just to use an example, you will actually get to see this in, like, 2 holes once I finish this challenge. But just to use an example, you earn points. And those points are actually the points you need to actually use in the shop. And the higher in the tournaments you come, the more points you get. But the drop-off for the amount of points you win at the end is absolutely enormous, to the point where if you're just going for points, you might as well just drop out if you're below the top 3, because it'll just be worth the time to start a new game and just go again, because if you're doing that badly, you're not going to get any points off it whatsoever. Which is unfortunate, because it makes the fact that you basically just have this one set of single player content to do even more frustrating, because it means you just have to play over and over and over again to get points and to try and finish the challenges, because you have to finish them in first. Nothing else will do. It's really frustrating, actually. I am not going to be stupid. I'm going to play this properly, and I'm not going to try and shoot past the gigantic building and the lake behind it. Because if I do, I will end up getting stuck and needing 3 or 4 shots to get out of it. I've done worse, I guess. I probably could putt it in from here if I wanted to, but screw it. I'll try for the chip anyway. That was way too strong. Well, it doesn't matter. As long as I hit this one in, which, knowing my luck, I probably won't. Oh, yeah, I actually got it. Alright, I'm 1 under, and considering how far behind the AI was, I probably actually won this one. Yeah, I won. That's pretty good. Hello, Blacktooth Poncho. At least I'm pretty sure it's a Blacktooth, but anyway. So yeah, there's my stats. So apparently I did a lot better this time around. Scorecards. His loyalty level goes up, which gives me some more powerful shots and some extra power shots. And here's my points. And here's some new items. Apparently I can also unlock Amy, which is kind of nice, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go back and we're going to just hop straight into a second round, and that's how we're going to end this video off. Because it's going to take a fair bit longer, and we're only at the 20-minute mark. Unbelievably. I'm usually a lot slower about this. But yeah, what are we going to play? We could play the Kagurayama again, because it's got the Teeny Cup, because as you can see, there are some extra rules that are going on up there. Oh, apparently I did have easy mode on that entire time. Let's turn that off. But yeah, as you can see, there are all these weird little rules. There's Tornado Cup as well, which I believe I showed off on the stream, where it's literally just the ball just does a fucking swirl around the hole because there's a tornado literally right on top of it. And just stuff like that. It's neat. It gives you a little bit of extra stuff to do, but alright, we're gonna play the La Province Resort, because why not? And yeah, we'll play as him, and I think I'll play with what gives me a little bit more no, actually, we'll stick with what I have. Probably better I stick with what I have and what I know, and I don't actually use spin that much. I might as well go with the extra power.
Well, let's begin.
Let's get moving.
It's a shame, because now that the online stuff is down, you can't play things like the daily tournaments, and you can't play against like anybody online and all that. It means that this game doesn't really have that much content going for it, which makes it pretty hard to recommend, honestly. Just because it doesn't have that much stuff to do. And the stuff that it does have is going to be really freaking difficult. Right, let's power shot this, see just how far I can get it. I almost had it dead on. $322. That's actually pretty good. That is indeed a new record for me. Let's make this no, that'll do it. Sure, it's a good golf game, and I mean, if you can deal with the fact that this is basically... fucking bunkers. If you can deal with the fact that this is basically all you've got, like just the whole single-player challenges and all that, if you can deal with only having that, you'll have a perfectly fine time with it. It's a good game on its own, and it's got enough single-player content to keep you going for a while. Like, see, look at that. So many plus zeros. I'm number 13 because I landed in that fucking bunker. Right. Why do I feel like I'm playing the same hole again?
That was amazing.
300 exactly, Jesus. I could go for that, but it would be a really hard shot, and it wouldn't leave me in an advantageous position anyway, so... Let's... Yeah, I think what the game had in mind about putting me... Well, the camera controls are a little bit hard to deal with. Use triangle and then X to go back and forth. It's a little odd. Okay. There will do nicely. I completely missed. I do also like the different cameras you can put on via the D-pad here. It's just kind of nice. There are also these neat little environmental things, like there are animals running around that you can actually hit with your balls. Someone's going to take that out of context, I guarantee you. There are animals running around that you can hit if you are a particularly good shot.
Carefully now.
And there is a lot of environmental stuff, like carts running around, and in a couple of these stages, I think there's a road in the background where you can see cars going by, and there's stuff like that, you know? Just real neat little things, little details like that that are enjoyable, and it's a well done golf game. Like, it's well polished, it's well presented, and they basically just ported this game wholesale to the PlayStation 3 in like 2014 or something, instead of making a new Hot Shots. And then they went and made Everybody's Golf on the PS4, which apparently was an absolute travesty. Which is disappointing, but... I mean, oh well, no crying over spilt milk, I suppose.
Ooh, let's rock this joint.
All
Alright.
I don't believe it. I'm actually doing alright. I'm just waiting to fuck up at this point. You're gonna hear my dog barking in a minute, just because that's the way of things. I actually got it. That ball shadow was way too fucking big to be a realistic ball shadow, but this isn't realistic, so whatever. I'm not gonna give it too much shit. Yeah, stop there. Thank you. I do not want to have to hit around that arch. Thankfully, I don't have to. This way a little bit. Great. That was a pretty bad shot on my part, but I shouldn't suffer too heavily from it, thanks to the fact that I fucked up in 2 ways and not 1 way.
Oh,
Because you know what they always say? Two wrongs make a right, apparently. In this case. Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. 1 foot away for the par here. I will take that over a complete miss. Absolutely. The problem is, I'm still not in front by a significant margin. Because look at that. 610 points. I'm going to have to get like a birdie or something to catch up in order to get into first. And... oh yeah, I forgot. This is the dick course. Right. And if I hit hit it low. There we go. 270, 280, 290. Alright, I'll take it. 87, so about there will do it. $37 feet. Thankfully, I do have 2 shots of this, so let's just give this a nice little tap up there. Won't go for the sink, just go to get as close as possible. Screw you, wind! So, tell me that it looks like that wind was pushing the ball. There we go. So yeah, I'm not too bad at this after all. Who would have fucking thought? Hole 6. Might as well talk about performance now. Performance is alright. Like, it seems to hold. I'm pretty sure this is 30 frames a second. It might be 60. I can't really tell. I think it's 30 though. And it seems to hold that pretty consistently. I haven't seen it drop frames or anything. And as I said before, it looks good. It doesn't look amazing. But they picked a decent art style. They didn't overdo it. And it still looks nice to this day. And I imagine it's still going to look nice in the future. If a bit outdated. Those damn 1-footers, I tell ya. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my 1 foot and I'm going to shove it up this game's ass in a minute. I swear to God. Right, someone's going to -1. So, thankfully, we've only got 3 holes left to go. But that means we've only got 3 holes left to make a birdie or lower. I think I have actually got... yeah, I have gotten at least 1 eagle. Because the game did save that. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90... Please don't roll right off the edge. Please don't roll right off the edge. Please don't roll right off the... Thank God. Alright. Now, I could go for that. But I guarantee you I'd fuck it up. So, let's not. Let's make this a... let's make this a simpler shot instead, shall we? Yeah, there we go. It's a par 5. I've got the shots to spare. Right, 160, and there's a little bit of backwards wind, so let's give it the full burst of power. I unfortunately screwed up on the accuracy a little bit, which meant my shot went a bit wide and a bit further back than I would have liked. And this is my 4th shot, which means I need to try and hit this for a birdie, but chances are that's not going to happen. Indeed it's not. It's an uphill par with a little bit of a rightward slope, and I missed it. A little bit more power would have done it. And now I'm down a shot. But thankfully, so is everyone else. Alright. Look at those houses there. If I just, oh, hang on. Pull it out to here, then tap this. I can see all the houses. They are very simple houses, and you can see a shadow bug right there on the cliff, but still, it really isn't the worst looking game. That's a pretty neat feature, actually. See Boundary Break having a little fun with that one. Okay, power shot.
Don't stop, man.
200, 250, 270. I'll take it. Straight in the middle of the freeway, more or less. Now let's see if I can get it up and on that green. 14 feet.
Birdie chance.
Now let's actually try and hit this birdie. So,
Is it an upslope?
right, it's going to have the rightward slope, and it's going to need a little bit more power than normal. Nope, that slope was just a little bit too high. And that was too much, because of course it bloody was. Oh, look at me, I'm incompetent again. Remember what I said about having to basically replay parts over and over again because this shit would happen? Yeah, this is basically what I meant. Like, one little mistake like that is enough in this game to screw you out of a well-earned win.
Go there. You want to green. Get it in for a birdie.
Not a chance in the world I'm gonna hit this.
Is it a downslope?
Worth a shot anyway. If I had aimed just a little bit back to the left.
Carefully now.
Oh well, nothing wrong with a par. Maybe I'll get lucky and everyone else will just fawn behind me on a par 3. That's fucking unlikely. I came first! What the fuck? How did that happen? Okay, I'll take it. I will take competency over incompetency any day of the week, but that legit makes no sense to me. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I not only did I win, I didn't even have to have easy mode on to do it. That's kind of amazing, actually. Yeah, look at that. My score is way better. My par pace was way better. My perfect impacts were down a bit, but that didn't really affect me that much. Yeah, that was a surprisingly good round on my part, and well, I have it on video, so I can prove that I'm not completely incompetent. But yeah, that's pretty much where this video is going to end off at this point. So that was a quick look at Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. It's a good golf game. It's well polished, it's well made, it looks nice, it sounds okay outside of the golf caddies. And it's a generally fun golf game to play, but the fact that it doesn't have that much in the way of single-player content anymore means that it's kind of frustratingly short on stuff to play since the multiplayer and online stuff is mostly gone now. So if you are thinking about picking it up, just remember that the only thing you're going to have is trying to get through these surprisingly hard challenges and playing just regular stroke matches. That's basically all you've got. But if you keep that in mind and you pick it up for cheap for like 10 bucks or something, and maybe pick up the 3 DLC courses for stroke play if you like that sort of thing, you'll probably have a good time either way, because it's still a good game under all of that. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.